Video, we are going to walk you through three possible areas for reforestation, starting with the southwest corner of the Plex right here. We're going to move then to this forest, or what remains of this forest right here, area 2. Then we're going to follow this path back towards town while we highlight some features like these hickory trees which are left standing, these significant stands of elm and oak and hickory, these low-lying areas here that are little bioreserves. And then we're going to move past these two sinkholes towards area 3 right here by Golden Acres Park. All right, here we go.
This is the southwest corner of the Plex. It's owned by the town but is seldom used. It's also too close to a farm to be used as a residential land. These 3.5 acres could be partially reforested to provide habitat for animals, a carbon sink, and watershed protection.
This forest was clear-cut in 2007. It used to be 30 acres of mature hardwood forest, but since then the soil has degraded into rock-hard clay. This area is currently owned by a developer and is within the future urban boundaries. This section of land is the largest, but probably the most difficult to reforest, as it is owned by the developer and they likely have plans to build homes here.
All right, behind me here is a massive shagbark hickory tree, and there are about a dozen of these trees that are standing alone in the field just north of the Plex and west of town. They were left by farmers when the land was originally cleared because they were so useful. The wood is very, very hard and useful for implements, for hand implements. You couldn't go to Home Hardware 100 years ago. What you would do is just cut off a branch of these hickory trees and you'd have a new shovel handle. They tell a cool story, but they also provide a little bit of a biosphere reserve. There's a row of mature oaks that's along the path to the Plex. We'd love to see those trees remain since they're impossible to replace. These trees can live over 200 years. This one is well over 100 and really can't be replaced by small boulevard trees.
Just north of Golden Acres Park is a 2-acre triangle of town land that would be perfect for reforestation. It is next to a forest and would be considered a buffer between human activity and 20 Mile Creek. This site is large enough to meet requirements for the 50 Million Trees program and is close enough to an existing forest and stream to qualify for NPCA's restoration program.
Next to me is a sinkhole just west of Golden Acres Park. Runoff from this field travels underground and flows into 20 Mile Creek. Excess fertilizer, pesticides, and herbicides make their way into our watershed and eventually into the food chain. A forest here could filter the water and stabilize the ground. Plus, who wants to own a house that's over a sinkhole?
This is a 20 Mile Creek at the Wade Street walking ridge. Each year, the NPCA does water testing, and each year, the water results come back as showing that the water is of poor quality. High nutrient and E. coli levels are a sign of agricultural runoff. Algae growth is choking out wildlife and is turning this freshwater creek into a swamp. Reforesting our watershed would increase the health of streams and lakes. Anything that's good for our water is good for us. Each year, the NC... Okay, we'll just leave it.
Because it is the biggest.
You're so
It's the best, but the most difficult because
Runoff from the field. Oh my gosh. Runoff from the. I had it right. This is the southwest corner of the Plex. It's owned by the town and is